surprised. Surprise, motherfucker.
You. That was actually a pretty good impression.
Yeah.
You've been practicing?
No, I just know how to sound like a black guy.
Oh. Didn't know we all sounded the same.
I mean, there's the stereotypes. Hey, yo, man. I'm right here.
Hey, yo.
I'll ask you something.
Mr. Kingston.
So George's last name is Anderson, and someone came in today.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, and someone was like, so Mr. Anderson. I'm like, Mr. Anderson. And he's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, I've never heard anyone call you Mr. Anderson, so I never put that together. It's like, yeah, it's not so bad here with people I know, but like, when you're checking out at the register and someone does that, it's pretty fucking annoying. They freak out like you just did. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know exactly what that's like.
How do you know what that's like?
Because people are like, you been jamming? Because it's Benjamin.
Never heard that.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep, it happens.
That's a weird one.
Or, I see you've been crossing the road. Like,
that's a pretty funny one.
I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. I hate you all.
Yeah, my name doesn't have any fancy things like that.
Aw, Avery, you're such a cute little girl.
There are a lot of little white girls named Avery.
I know, I was thinking about that. This weekend for some reason.
Yeah, what?
I was driving to John's house and I was like, for some reason, I was like, Avery. And then I was like, oh yeah, he said that there's all a bunch of little white girls and that's why he doesn't like his name, because...
Oh no, I really love my name. I used to hate it when I was younger, but even when I was younger, there weren't many like white girls named Avery, but just like...
Is it just because they're white girls that you don't like it?
No, I mean, more so, I think
Does
Quentin...
Avery sound like a stereotypical strong black man name? Is that why?
I wouldn't say that
like
either.
White chicks to have it?
No, I think Quentin used to make fun of me with my name, saying it was a girl's name. But really, Quentin could be unisex too.
Quinty?
Quentin? Yeah, I've met a girl named Quentin.
Not really a gender neutral name. It's not
but
like Sam.
Apparently, Quentin spells his name weird. It's Quentin.
Yes, that is not how I would spell it. I would spell it Quin.
And then some people do Ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Ton, yeah.
What you doing over there?
Getting my fan set up so I can have some fans of my podcast.
Oh, gosh.
But, you know.
What made it work?
I just pushed it in the hole far enough. Are you stupid?
Give me the other one. Let me see it. What?
I got it really close to my face and it hit my beard and it scared me.
Alright, everyone.
What's up, everybody?
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Apartment Shenanigans, the podcast where two roommates just talk about what we want to talk about, and we talk.
That's fantastic.
Right? It's, what's the date? It is October 22nd. October 22nd on a Monday. Happy Halloween month. Yeah.
That's a weird way to do it.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, it's not wrong, but yeah.
Exactly. So
what do we do this week?
What are we doing? Well, do you have any, like, random updates throughout the week that you want to let the people know about?
No.
Nothing?
I don't know. Nothing interesting has happened.
Nothing at all? Nothing in your tech news? Something?
Oh, I don't know.
Haven't been keeping up to date?
No, I have. I just didn't see anything. I don't think I saw anything. Uber in 2024 is going to be delivering cheeseburgers via drone.
What? That's so random.
Also, Facebook is looking to acquire a major cybersecurity company.
Interesting. I guess they need that.
Yes, they can hack into more people's stuff. Yeah, exactly.
I think I mentioned this to you before, not on the podcast though, about like swatting, how people will stream and you call the cops to them, and people have died from that.
Yes.
That they, in some states, they've actually made it so that streamers can set up an account for local police in their area. So like, hey, I'm a streamer, so I might be streaming, so don't kill me. And why do you have USB sticks in your ears?
They work really well as earplugs, actually.
Sure. Also, like a little update from last week's episode, the whole PSN name change thing. Is it releasing in April of next year? Next year. We
It's
are passing.
October. It's almost the end of the year, buddy.
And is it going to be for more popular titles? Oh, sorry. I lied.
Titles?
I lied. It's releasing this year, but the PSN name change will actually only affect current games as well as games after April of this year. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
But in that PlayStation message bug thing that you mentioned, they fixed that, so that's cool.
Yep.
And Discord also launched their little game launcher thing. So...
Oh, I didn't look at that. That must have been in one of the million updates that they've had recently.
Right. So yeah, maybe they'll start competing with maybe the indie scene with Steam and other things on...
Steam is not indie.
Yeah, but they have indie games.
Yeah.
So maybe Discord and Steam might start fighting for some titles.
Oh, in the indie space.
Yeah.
Got it. Alright, so... Avery found this Disney bracket thing, like a March Madness thing that he made me do.
Define find. It was big in March, I think.
Alright, so it was big in March with the sports people, because they also like Disney movies, I guess. So we went through it, and we ended up picking a winner, and it was predefined like movies on the list. It wasn't just like you fill it out with your own Disney movies, so you kind of had a starting point, which I thought was a good idea. So we're just gonna go through and see which ones we like together or like the same, and then talk about why we picked one over the other when we differ, and then we'll find out who likes what movie out of the choices the most.
We'll find out who's right and who's wrong.
Sure.
But it is Disney versus Pixar. One on one side. But yeah, I guess start at the top. I don't know what your picture looks like. Let me see it.
It looks like a picture. So it was between Lion King and Tarzan for the first round.
And that was an easy win for me. Although I love the music in both, and I think I love the music in Tarzan more actually, because Phil Collins,
I would say probably
is pretty amazing.
Although the songs in the Lion King are good too. But who was your winner?
I had Lion King winning.
So did I.
But no, I think Lion King has like more sing-along songs, and then Tarzan is just more overall good songs.
Yeah. People sing along to the Tarzan songs, but that's because they like the movie and the songs so much.
Right.
It wasn't designed more around the music. The music was meant to be more like an emotional tie-in rather than a like plot tie-in.
Right.
Whereas
right.
like Timon and Pumbaa singing and stuff is
like
very
singing
like
about bugs and
yeah.
I just can't wait to be king.
We really should watch that.
It's a great movie. Whenever I think of the Lion King, the first thing I think of is just that montage when they're singing Hakuna Matata and Simba turns from a little cub to,
and he walks across the
log.
the tree. Yeah.
Like, I just think of him shaking his head and slowly turning. I don't know why. That's one scene I just always think about. Anyway, the next one was Princess and the Frog or Lilo and Stitch.
I've never seen Princess and the Frog.
What?
Or I've seen it, but it was that bad that I didn't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. So
I didn't pick it. I picked Lilo and Stitch.
I guess, yeah, that was an easy choice for you. I actually, my first time watching it all the way through was probably in 2013.
That's the one with the little
the
dark-skinned girl, right?
Yeah, the black princess, Tiana.
Yeah, and she kisses a frog, obviously. I guess that makes a lot of sense. I think I have seen I've seen parts of it. I don't feel like I've sat and watched it. I don't know for a fact that I've sat and watched it the whole way through.
Was it you or Rel? Because I thought one of you guys were talking about recently watching it and talking about the lightning bug in the movie. No? That doesn't ring a bell at all? Okay, never mind.
That was not me.
Wait, no, it is a good movie, and also good music, too.
I wouldn't be opposed to watching it, but it just, like, I don't remember it being, like, when it came out, like, Brave or anything, like, ooh, it was kind of, like, under the radar.
Why'd you
Brave's the first one that came to mind.
Brave is one of the worst ones, in my opinion. That's funny.
I really like Brave.
I like it, but, like,
I'm Irish.
Maybe. In comparison, I just didn't
yeah, I like Brave a lot. Much. It's good, but it's definitely not it's not an epic story like a lot of the Disney princess stories are kind of like epics.
We'll get to that though. But I also chose Lilo and Stitch just because Stitch is amazing and Ohana means family.
Tangled versus Big Hero 6.
This is actually a really hard one for me.
Was it?
Yeah.
Thinking about it more, it's me thinking about it now more. It's a little bit harder because I recently rewatched Big Hero 6 and like kind of not analysis, but like someone kind of talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I did like that movie. But
think about MatPat's video.
Maybe.
Actually, Princess of the Frog was the very last hand-drawn animation movie Disney made, and Tangled was the very first computer animated one. And I've seen both of them so many times, and I think I just had to go with more nostalgia with it, and I chose Tangled. I loved Big Hero 6, the Baymax was great, the story was good, the twist was good, like...
It was between... Oh, I said Moana. It's, Tangled and Big Hero 6. I picked, Big Hero 6.
Okay.
On it.
So...
Because I can't stand Frozen. It's just the Lion King remade.
I think you're mixing it up. It's Tangled versus Big Hero 6.
Yes, I mixed it up again in the same sentence.
So you meant to say...
I like Big Hero 6 more than Tangled.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't like Tangled all that much.
Tangled, actually, I also do love the music in that, and...
I don't really like it. And I don't really like the Rapunzel story. I just don't...
I don't think the story of Rapunzel's that great, but I like the take they did put on her, like how she reacted, how just giddy and excited she was when she finally got out of the tower. I don't know, I thought it was really done.
Yeah, and her personality's kind of cool.
Flynn Rider was nice, and my favorite song in that movie is See the Light, is the song when they're on the boat and they bring the lantern up, and it's a little duet. It was really nice.
Gotcha.
So I guess you picked Frozen. Oh, you say you didn't pick Frozen because it's just the Lion King retold. Yeah.
And it's not that great. Like, the guy that you are led to believe is Prince Charming ends up being the villain, and the whole reason he's the villain is because magic surprise, the trolls put a magic spell on him and they can control him from afar.
That's just a theory, though.
Yeah, but like, what else would have caused him to become evil?
Yeah, because everything he does in the movie...
Literally everything is in line with Disney's Prince Charming coming in, like, part of the way they tell stories. Like, it's literally... They should have just made him Prince Charming, and the movie would have been better.
Do you think...
I think the music in it is super annoying.
Is it annoying because it got memed and just known
No, it's
everywhere?
Annoying because of, like, it's not good.
Dang. Like, you don't like any of the music?
I don't think I like any of the songs. I do like Olaf.
I like Olaf's character
I like the sidekicks in the movie.
So you like Sven and Olaf, and you like Kristoff then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like...
See, Frozen, like, the music, I like it, but I will say it was overplayed.
And it's a little bit... not tinny, but, like, on the higher pitched end.
Because all of them are Broadway singers.
Well, yeah, I get that. And it's just the overall, like, I don't know, like, thing of the songs I just don't like. I don't know. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, the overall flavor of it, but, like, I don't know what flavor it would be. It's just like, it doesn't do anything for me, and I just get annoyed with the characters and stuff. Anna and Elsa are just kind of annoying and stuff.
See, I like the movie. I don't think it deserved all the hype and being a #1 animated movie. What?
The music in Moana, in contrast, is fantastically phenomenal, which is kind of the same thing, but it's so much better composed. It's got more swelling, like upbeat sections and down sections, and it's more like kind of orchestra type music.
I also like the Islander vibe of all the music too, with the I can't remember
the steel drums or whatever, or the bongos.
That, and I can't remember the actual Islanders that they're based off of. Polynesian.
Yes. The characters, the voices, The Rock. Like, I pretty much like anything that The Rock is in that's animated or where he can be his goofy self. I just like. The story's better. I think it's more well thought out. I think just the visuals of it I like better. It's a lot prettier of a movie. The coming of age, like, kind of story resonates a little bit more.
Would you call it a princess story?
Moana?
Would you compare?
No, I wouldn't call Moana a princess story. No, I would call it more like a hero arc.
Like a Mulan?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, more like Mulan. Because Mulan's about coming of age and stuff, but she's breaking down stereotypes more. But yeah, I would say Moana and Mulan are fairly similar in that it's like a hero's tale, or Odyssey type thing.
Going back to Frozen, I liked it. I like the music, although I will say, like, when I go back and like listen to like a song from the movie, it's usually 2, maybe 3 songs. Like, I don't really like Let It Go that much. Like, covers more of that. Love Is an Open Door is one of my favorites, and like, really, that's really it. Then, like, Moana, like, when Moana came out, every song is great. Good. And they have some, like, if you get the soundtrack, they have some outtake songs that are all just amazing as well.
Yeah, I think the music just is so much better in it. So the next battle was Aladdin versus Hercules.
I thought this was going to be difficult.
That would have been really difficult for, like, 90s kids, which I guess you were still pretty young when those came out. So
I don't know the year they came out. For you. Well, I mean, I watch these all the time on, like, Disney when they aired.
But I mean, Hercules was before Aladdin, but I think now everybody's gonna be like, actually,
I've definitely seen Hercules more though than Aladdin.
Really? I've seen Hercules a ton, but I've seen Aladdin a lot too. I like all of the Aladdins, honestly. Like,
I don't think I've seen any of the sequels.
Aladdin is probably my favorite, like, what is it? Not triple.
Trilogy?
Trilogy, yeah. I just like every single one. They're so cool.
It's interesting that you say that, because a lot of people say the perfect trilogy is the Toy Story trilogy.
Toy Story is really good too, but I just didn't like 3 that much, and 2 was decent, but not near as 2 didn't live up to as good of what 1 was.
Well, 1 was Pixar's first movie ever, and like it just kind of blew everyone away, and the concept was great, which Secret Life of Pets stole.
But I feel like 1 and 2 are very close to being unequal, but then the third one is just kind of feels more cash grabby than anything.
I think like Toy Story 4 is going to be cash grabby. They should have stopped it, but now
I don't know. I have high hopes for it.
Oh, so do I.
It ends up being good because, like, it's now much later where they realize what fans want, and they don't want just like another sequel just for the sake of another sequel.
Well, I thought
3 came out when that was what the trend was like. Yes. It wasn't like, let's make a actual good sequel. It was just like later in the 90s or early 2000s, whenever it was.
I think that's
like that era of
I'm not saying 3 was needed, movies. But the concept and the fact that Andy aged with the audience, because 3 came out when my brother Quentin, he was going to college, so he really got hit by the storyline of 3 a lot.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying the concept of it's bad.
But no, I will say I like 1 and 3 more than 2 as well. And 2 was even meant to be just an animated short, but then fans...
I like 2,
critics
actually, more
liked
than
it.
3.
critics like 2 so much, they're like, no, we have to make this a full-length movie. Anyway, we'll get there. Out of Aladdin and Hercules, I chose Hercules. And that's just because I've watched it more. I think I don't relate to it more or anything, but I just...
Sure you do, big strong man.
No.
So I picked Aladdin on it, actually. The songs are fantastic. A Whole New World. Like, when I was little watching it, Jafar was like so cool and like evil, and like it was kind of like Indiana Jones-ish with the
Cave of Wonders.
And Cave of Wonders, and picking the thing up and having to run out, and the 40 Thieves, and like I had the NES games or SNES games for Aladdin, and like just it was so good.
So it sounds like you just like grew up with it.
Oh yeah, that was like the iconic Disney movie for me that I remember being, and I watched it constantly. I'm surprised I didn't wear the VHS tape out. I might have kind of wore out the first one. Yeah, Aladdin is great.
Yeah, I have no real like huge motivating factor with Hercules. I just think it's more nostalgic to me. I think I've just seen it a few more times to really think about it and judge it. But you said the music. The only song I can think of with Aladdin is A Whole New World, honestly. I know there's other ones with the genie, but like A Friend Like Me and stuff.
And Robin Williams being the genie, he was the perfect character. He was
amazing, yeah.
But what's the one about the 40 Thieves song? I
have no idea.
When he's like, gotta run in it, and he's stealing the bread and stuff, like early in the movie or at the beginning.
Yeah, that is a good song. Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm sure that's way offbeat, but that's the song I'm thinking of is another really good one. All right. So next round was
Little Mermaid versus Pocahontas.
I was supposed to read it. We were going back and forth.
Were we?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that's the thing.
We did everyone like that.
My bad. You can get the next one.
Well, man, it's gonna be uneven.
Oh no.
So, Little Mermaid had really good songs too. The side characters are great. The evil Ursula is good. That's not really that in depth or insightful.
I don't have much to say about these, actually.
The story of The Little Mermaid is just kind of meh on me. Like, it's not bad or good.
It's definitely classic Disney.
Yeah, it's just, it's more of like a story that you would have heard as a kid where they took like an old story, like an old wives' tale or something, and animated it basically, which was like classic Disney recipe. It had good songs. Sebastian was a really funny character and stuff. I feel like the Little Mermaid cartoon probably was a little bit better than the movie.
I don't know if I watched I've seen some of the Little Mermaid sequels with Ariel's daughter, but I don't think I really watched the cartoon. Yeah,
there was definitely a cartoon. She's like went on adventures and was Ariel and like got into trouble and stuff. I don't think they needed sequels of Little Mermaid.
I don't think they need a sequel for any of these movies, really. Anyway,
Aladdin really needed sequels.
So, which one did you choose?
I chose Pocahontas. I like the art of it actually a lot more. Because it's like flat colors and stuff.
And more like pastelly. A foresty, yeah.
Yeah. I like the songs a lot in Pocahontas too.
What's the really popular one? It's like Color of the Wind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandmother Willow. Just, I don't know. I like it a lot.
So this round is Pocahontas I've actually only seen once.
Are you kidding?
And Little Mermaid I've seen twice. And the first time I watched it was probably like 2012, 2013.
Jeez.
Like I definitely saw parts of it when I was younger, but I didn't remember it. So I rewatched it then. So I don't have like a nostalgic bone for any of these. It's just kind of like I have to pick one. And honestly, like I always bring it back up, but like I went through the story of Little Mermaid through Kingdom Hearts as well. So I chose Little Mermaid just from what I know, because of Pocahontas I don't know much about. And I probably should rewatch it.
Pocahontas, this might not make a lot of sense to you or other people, but Pocahontas gives me similar vibes to Aladdin.
How?
And this is where the entire statement falls apart, because I'm not sure.
You're not sure at all?
I'd have to really think about it a lot more and actually, like, discuss it.
Is it because you watched it around the same time period and you kind of just associate them with each other?
No, because Pocahontas was kind of an outcast character as well, and so was Aladdin. Like, not necessarily like street rat. Both of them were street rats, and it's not like rags to riches.
Mm-hmm.
But they're both kind of like people that don't fit in with the norm of where they're at in the world or life or personalities. So it could just
finding
be
your place.
Yeah, it could just be because like I kind of identify with that maybe. And just being kind of weird and oddly shaped of a person, not physically shaped, but like I definitely have a very interesting way of like fitting in that it definitely doesn't vibe with like most what you would consider like stereotypes, but not in a bad way, just like normal archetypes of personalities and stuff. I'm just I can swing a lot with my personality, so that just kind of puts a lot of people off because it seems like unusual and kind of unstable, but not like
psychopath.
Yeah, it's just like very, I don't know. It works really well with some people like you and stuff where it's like it is what it is and it just works out good, but it definitely isn't for everybody. So it could just be that I kind of identify with them more.
Sure.
That type of story. I'm not sure.
Sure.
I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to think about it more.
I'm really
or
curious
rewatch them and then talk about it, which maybe could be a sequel episode.
Next one.
Are you really going to do another one in line? We're going to do like 3 in a row. Mulan or Zootopia? Which, was it you that I just watched Zootopia with again?
Me, you, and Mandy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if I watched it this weekend with John or not. I always end up watching a kid's movie with him because he's got 2 kids, so.
Oh, these aren't kids' movies. They're kids' movies. Yeah, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
They most certainly are. So, Zootopia and Mulan. I talked a whole lot the last cycle. You talk about the movies first. You give your overall feeling for both, and then what you picked.
Mulan, I love Mulan. I mean, who doesn't like "I'll Make a Man Out of You"? It's the one song that everyone knows the words to.
Yeah.
Similar to like Hakuna Matata as well.
Yeah,
but
it's very iconic.
The story Mulan, that's another thing. Like I really like it, but I feel like whenever I end up talking about Mulan, someone always brings up the fact that God, I can't remember his name now. The guy.
It's been forever, man.
I want to say like
the short anger guy.
No, like the main dude, main bro. Dude, what's his name?
About a girl.
Huh?
It's about a girl.
I know, but the main
the main dude?
Yeah.
Like who? The good guy? The bad guy?
The good guy. Mulan's love interest.
I can totally almost see his face.
I can see his face. I just don't know his name.
Anyways, that guy.
Anyway, that guy. People are gonna hate me for not knowing him. Anyway, I just think I like the meme. It's like, Lee. Lee's his name? Lee Shang? Yeah, it's Lee.
Sounds generic enough.
I just think like the meme is like him like possibly being gay throughout the entire movie, and then when Mulan finally gets found out, it's like, oh, thank God.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, the pretty boy. Yeah, now I can see his face clear as day. The pretty one. Yeah. Why didn't you just say that? I'd have been like, boom, I know, Lee.
So I just think of that, but Eddie Murphy as Mushu was great and amazing.
Mushu was so good. I forget that's Eddie Murphy.
He I think makes the movie because just all his like side comments, like he's there all the time.
Yeah, he does do really good with that. I really like the main Hun guy.
The main bad guy?
Yeah, the big
Shan
brawny one that like perches on the rooftop in the Superman pose, or not Superman, superhero pose. Yeah, that was so cool.
The
fight scenes.
The most iconic thing for me with him is after the avalanche, he just like brings his hand up out of the snow, and then you see his bird or crow, whatever he has.
Falcon.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's
Falcon.
I don't know.
Like, I thought that was like so like menacing.
Right?
I was like, oh my god, he just survived an avalanche. Like, that's crazy.
So the battle with the Huns and stuff, and the arrows and the wall, it reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah.
That epic, like, I didn't know that, and I'm just making this connection. Thinking about it, like, it's basically the battle with the elves and the
battle,
and stuff.
The battle of Mordor at the wall.
Yeah, the one with the wall where all the knights and everybody and the elves come in and stuff. Like, it's pretty much that, but before that. You know, like timeline wise, like Mulan became.
Well, I'm thinking about the Lord of the Rings books. I don't know.
Oh, maybe Mulan was inspired by the books. I don't know. Like, I'm not the writers or anything. But yeah, that battle's actually got like quite a lot of similarities with the arrows flying over top and just.
And they even have cross dressing in the movie too. Like other than Mulan, the other soldiers that she makes friends with.
The fat,
short, fat
tall,
one. The big fat one, the short, stubby
and the short one that's angry all the time. Yeah, I love when the big fat guy just picks him up and he's like, and he just makes up Asian sounding words.
Going
which
past
is bad, but
Zootopia.
It's funny and cute.
Zootopia, we just recently watched, like we said, more modern movie. I think it was 2016 that came out.
I don't like it that much.
I actually really like it.
It's very in the face political to me, which I don't like in kids movies. I don't like in movies in general. But it's just, I watched it the first time with like my nephew and my mom or something, one of the kids, or a couple of us or something, and I'm like, this is just a political agenda, like blatantly. It's not even like
I don't think they were trying to hide
dealing with like racism or something difficult, you know, and like trying to teach kids a good lesson. It's just like, bam, here you go, is a political like thing, and it's just, I don't like it. It puts me off in a kids movie. Like, sure, I don't mind having a lesson, which is what Disney's whole like mantra is kind of about. But it's just blatantly like there, so it makes me mad and annoyed. So I don't like it.
I didn't mind it that much. Like, it definitely was in your face, and like the whole like the first few examples that come to my head would definitely like with racism is when the tiger cop at the front desk is like, "Oh my god, you're such a cute bunny," and then she's like, "Ooh."
That's more like
bunnies can call each other cute, but when someone else does it, it's a little.
I don't think that's really racism. I think that's more sexism.
I compared it to like the N-word.
Yeah, and I can see that. Like, that's a totally valid way to see it, but me watching it, I took it as a sexual, like, thing.
And then,
like, you can't say, oh, you look nice in that outfit or that dress because you're, like, sexualizing women or something like that, but that's a very extreme view. But yeah. Yeah,
I definitely, like, they had, like, those moments where it's just really in your face. They, like, a lot of the more recent Disney and Pixar movies have been poking fun at themselves. Like in Moana, The Rock was like, "Please don't start singing right now." When they're at the top
so
saying,
you're a princess with your token and a funny animal sidekick.
Yeah, and you wear a dress and you're like you sing,
right?
Like,
and you have a crown.
Yeah. So like they've definitely been poking fun at each other, and like in Zootopia, they had that moment where she was like, "This isn't the fake world or whatever where you can sing and all your problems will go away, so just let it go." I'm like, wow, that was really on the nose too.
Yeah, Zootopia would have been better if they didn't frame it in it's a kids movie. If they made it more adult, but had it in that animated form, or like a late teenager-y movie, it would have sat much better with me than like, oh, it's a cute little kids movie with all these nice little animals and blah blah blah. And then bam, here's this giant like political debate thing,
Mm-hmm.
like not even hidden, just in your face. It's like, it feels more like indoctrinating or like brainwashing with kids rather than like, oh, you got this lesson out.
See, what I'm curious about, like,
this one.
with us, like, watching as adults, we see that so easily, but I'm really curious how long it'll take for a kid to watch it who's, like, 10 now, for them to realize, after rewatching it every year, let's say, for them to realize, oh, that's what they mean.
I feel like my nephew knew it by, like, when he was, I think he might have watched it when he was 11 or 12, but, like, he kind of got that pretty easy.
Gotcha.
Now, little kids, like, toddler to, like, 10, they just see it as a cool thing, but,
right.
like, they're so little that they do anyways. But let's move on.
Well, which one did you pick? Dead air. Mulan. I chose Zootopia.
Really?
Yeah.
You really like Mulan a lot. I'm surprised you picked Zootopia.
I think it was because we recently watched it.
So it's just more fresh?
Maybe.
Okay.
Next one.
Beauty and the Beast or The Nightmare Before Christmas?
This one, again, going through this whole list,
Yeah.
I'm realizing how long I went without seeing some of the classic Disney movies.
Mm-hmm. When did you watch Beauty and the Beast? I know you didn't watch The Nightmare Before Christmas till we moved in. Because I made you.
Beauty and the Beast was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the time The Nightmare Before Christmas came out, I wasn't really like Disney kid anymore. It was like Disney teenager.
A lot of people don't even think it's Disney either. They think it's
No.
like, what's the guy who makes Coraline, I mean.
It's literally Tim Burton.
Oh.
Like it's the same guy.
There you go. Like, people forget it's
It's
Disney.
like alternative Disney, right? Or like Disney After Dark or whatever. Emo Disney. Like,
I will
it
say,
definitely
like,
is more of a, it's not the same cutesy, like, fun-loving Toy Story Disney.
It took
Pixar.
me a little bit to see both these movies, but I always knew all the story and all the songs and everything in the movie. I just never actually sat down and watched the whole thing in a
Right.
row. But
Yeah.
I'll just go quick and fast. I went with Beauty and the Beast with this one because when I did watch The Nightmare Before Christmas last year, I wasn't that impressed. And, like, it's good, but I was annoyed with Jack Skellington. I didn't like his character that much.
Oh, interesting. I just don't like Beauty and the Beast that much. I picked The Nightmare Before Christmas. I like Tim Burton a lot. I like pretty much everything he does, even like Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just like his sort of emo, grungy, like alternative feel. But Beauty and the Beast just...
It's, again, like a classic Disney movie. It's like that princess story and
It's
falling
not
in
like,
love.
It just doesn't... I don't know. It just doesn't vibe with me very well. Like, it's not like I don't like it. Like, I like it. It's just I like Nightmare Before Christmas more.
One thing I don't really get, and this might get people mad, is when people say Belle is their favorite Disney princess. I don't think Belle has, like, all that much personality.
She doesn't, but she's smart and values reading and being smart and good at things. That's why. That's why people like her, because she's a basic chick. All right. Because we're not even through the first round.
Yeah, let's speed up.
So, Up versus Brave.
I chose Up.
So did I.
And you said you like Brave a lot.
I do like Brave a lot, but I really like Up.
What,
It's such a touching, nice story. It almost makes me cry every time.
what makes you cry more, the whole story or just the first 5 minutes?
No, the whole story. The whole old man and, like, just... It makes me think of my grandparents.
I was going to ask,
which
like,
are both
does it
gone
kind of
now.
remind you of, like, what you see yourself doing in the future if you were, like...
Yes, and it also makes me think of, like, what I would look for in another person as well. Is, Ellie and... What's the dude's name?
The old man?
Yeah.
Like Mr. Ruckelsberg.
But yeah, so their relationship is kind of what I aim for, because they're just like best friends, and they like wanna just they have a clubhouse.
Carl,
yes.
Carl
I don't know. I
Carl
just like
Fredrickson.
Mr. Fredricksen, that's right. And I like Kevin, and I like the little fat kid that just wants to like be nice and helpful, and then they end up like really good friends and like loving each other and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just touching and nice. I
just made this connection now, but it kind of reminds me of just Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us, where they hate each other at first. They don't want to. Well, God, can't remember this Boy Scout's name. But he didn't hate him, but they didn't get along at first, and then they just they go on a huge adventure. Then it gets them to just bond, and they're like, "Oh, we actually do love each other. We need like the surrogate father figure. We need the surrogate son." Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Toy Story 2.
I think we kind of touched upon the whole trilogy earlier, but I chose Toy Story 1.
So did I. Toy Story 2 is close, but not like right up against it as far as the first one. The first one is really good. The second one's pretty good, and the third is like
if it was Toy Story 1,
the third is not that great.
If it was Toy Story 1 to Toy Story 3, it would be harder of a decision for me.
Not at all.
Yeah, I chose 1. Just it's a classic. I definitely grew up more with Toy Story. Out of the ones, some of the ones we went through.
I can see you seeing it later, but like Toy Story is pretty old. Like that's a movie that
93, I believe, 95.
Yeah, that would have been like the first movie I saw in theater. The first Disney movie I saw in theaters.
Quentin's first movie in theaters was Lion King. My first movie in theaters, I don't remember actually, but I remember my brother got the Lion King VHS. I got Toy Story VHS, and I rewatched it all the time.
Yeah.
So
Toy Story is just more. It just like it's weird that one is it for you and not the second one because Toy Story came out. Not that we're so far apart, but like I don't know. So.
Yeah, Toy Story was 95.
Yeah.
And I feel like also like I didn't have this thought at all like when I was younger, but it is Pixar's very first movie being in their own studio, so it's kind of special for them and special for me. Next one, Coco versus Cars 3, and this was a super easy one for me.
It was maybe a little bit more difficult, but you and I definitely picked the same.
Coco?
Yeah.
I
really like Cars though. That universe, and I just like Mater and like just the goofiness of it and the silliness, but Coco, like I don't really like the songs in it, but I do like the story, and the visuals of Coco are just so over the top good.
I mean, that just comes with the year it came out too. But
well, yeah,
you mentioned the songs. Honestly, the only song I can remember is "Remember Me." I can't. Are the rest like instrumental songs? Like can't really.
I don't really know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It wasn't a sing along type thing. Like there weren't like. It's definitely the new recipe for Disney where it's not just like musicals.
Yeah. Cars. I like the universe in Cars 2, but I like the concept of Coco a lot more. The fact that like they bring in the Day of the Dead, and the fact that like the whole idea of it is like they come to visit. That's why you put them on the ofrenda. But that you can't actually, well, you aren't supposed to be able to, but the fact that Miguel goes to their side and the idea of it and the whole idea if you're on the ofrenda.
Go over there because he's been dead inside for years because he misses them.
Wow, that's dark.
I mean, it's true. How else would he have been able to get over?
The magical guitar and those curse. Have you not seen that theory?
Yeah, but like that just sounds much more far-fetched than the fact that he just feels emotionally distant and dead because his family doesn't support his passion.
I can see that as well. I mean, who knows? It's Disney; they can get dark.
Yeah.
But just the whole idea of like the final death too, and like if people forget you, you're just gone. Like that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coco was awesome. I saw it in theaters. I dragged Tracy, Pat, and Rachel to it. None of them wanted to see it or really knew what it was about, but they all were pretty happy with it after it was over.
Toy Story 3 or Dory?
I really enjoyed Finding Dory.
So did I.
I need to rewatch both the Finding Dory and Finding Nemo again. But when I first saw Finding Dory, I said it may be better than Finding Nemo, and I know that's not a popular opinion. But like we were talking about Toy Story before, I love Toy Story 3, so I ended up choosing Toy Story 3.
So did I. I just like it better, I think. And thinking about it more now, I might pick Finding Dory, but my choice was Toy Story 3.
What I will say I loved about Finding Dory was the beginning, how they quickly just recapped the very beginning of Finding Nemo, how Dory got there, and then that was it. Like, I thought it was going to do like so much more callbacks, which it did some with like seeing like Crush again and the school and the singing of the manta rays, but no, it was its own thing. It gets a good standalone film.
Yep.
Next one, Ratatouille or A Bug's Life?
Can you guess which one I picked?
A Bug's Life?
Did you pick Ratatouille?
Yes.
Knew it. And you're right. I like A Bug's Life better. By the time Ratatouille came out, I was a teenager. It's good. I like it.
I need to rewatch it.
And rewatching it, I like the art and different things. But it just isn't that special or cool of a story. A Bug's Life, I don't necessarily like a ton, but I like it more than Ratatouille. Like, I just like it. And I grew up more with it, so it's probably more nostalgia over anything.
I definitely have more nostalgia with A Bug's Life, but with Ratatouille, I definitely saw it when it came out, not like the other movies. But I haven't rewatched as many times as I have these other Disney and Pixar movies. Mm-hmm. But overall,
I've seen it a bunch.
Really?
Yeah, like it's been on because it's on TV and stuff, and it's pretty easy to put on, like leave on with kids around and stuff.
Looking back on this, I think I might, like how last round you said you might pick Finding Dory. I think I may have picked A Bug's Life over it. Kind of thinking about it now, but I also think I may have chose Ratatouille because I knew what was coming up next in the next round. Mm-hmm. So next round, what? Finding Nemo versus Inside Out. And
I forget what I picked.
I chose Inside Out. I thought the concept of emotions, and that's what like
it's cute. Yeah, it's a cute idea for sure.
It's definitely a great idea, but
it's
like
out of the box even for Disney and Pixar.
The fact that like they're obviously missing some emotion or a lot of emotions, but they had to keep it nice and simple.
They boiled it down to basically what kids of that age have anyways. Like, if you do a lot of psychological, not even a lot, if you just look at, like, some psychological stuff, like, that's pretty much where they're at. They're able to define those 4 or 5 emotions. Mm-hmm. And which disgust is a little weird being in there. But they tied it in good with, like, the vegetables and baby food.
The actors and actresses that they chose for all the emotions were perfect, though.
Yes, they were, like, their spirit animals, yeah.
And sure. Especially sadness with, I don't know the actress's name, but Phyllis from The Office. Like, just her voice, like, that sounds really bad. She's a great sadness. But just the way she conveys it's amazing. And obviously, oh, God, Leslie Knope, Amy Poehler, she's just a bundle of joy all the time and everything she's been in.
Right. I picked Finding Nemo, though.
I picked Inside Out.
But Inside Out came much later, too.
2015.
Yeah.
What made you choose Finding Nemo over it?
It came out when I was younger, and I just kind of remember it a bit more. Like, I have a little bit more nostalgia for it. Towards the end of this section, I started to kind of... It's a lot of, like, newer movies, so I just kind of, like, rushed through and kind of picked ones that I have seen more.
Okay. Next one.
Monsters, Inc. versus Cars. The original.
This was pretty simple for me, but they're both really good, especially because of the original of their series. Which did you choose?
I think this one I rushed, and I should have picked a different one than I did.
Which did you choose?
I picked Cars, but I feel like looking at it a little more in depth or thinking about it, I probably should have picked Monsters, Inc. But I like cars, like actual cars in real life and stuff. Like,
do you think their anatomy is the actual car? Or is it like their brain in the top and their whole tongue and They have intestines. Because
No. No.
they drink oil, but
Yeah, because they have engines.
but they have tongues and eyes. Where does all that fit?
I think it's just a personification of headlights being eyeballs.
Their eyeballs are in the windshield.
Yeah. Personification.
That's not a headlight.
Personification doesn't mean that it has to be exactly in the same spot. But they also do, because they're like, oh, stickers, but like other people have actual headlights and stuff. Like,
But then
I
even
think it's just saying that the front end of cars look like faces and stuff at times.
one of the first scenes in the first movie was when Lightning finished a race. He had his fangirls, and they're like, Lightning, and they flashed him by flashing their lights, and it was like meant to mean like they flashed him showing their tits. Because he was even like, ooh, like kind of covered it or closed his eyes.
Yeah. They're called headlights. You've never heard boobs referred to as headlights?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought I got it because like they flashed him. They legit flashed.
Yeah, that's a subtle tie-in to it to be cutesy enough for a kids movie. But yeah, that's the thing.
But no, I chose Monsters Inc. I love the universe of both. I think Monsters Inc. just brings it out a little bit more. I think it's really creative. The whole monsters under your bed, hiding in your closet. The fact that, if that is true, the fact that a kid can scream from seeing one, their parents run in, and then it's not there. Like, why is that? It's because they go through the doors. Like, it makes sense. And it's just a really cool idea. And
yeah, it's well executed.
The whole, that's how they power their world is kind of like intense and interesting, but the fact that
it also makes you like kind of not feel bad, but like understand it a bit more,
right? And like even like they went out to get sushi, and like just their whole world, Scaropolis is I think is what their city they live in is called.
Yeah.
And Monsters University even brought some more universe building into that.
Monsters Inc. is a series that definitely got, after the first one, definitely felt more cash grabby every time.
University
Second
definitely was.
Is there a fourth one?
There's only two, man. There's Monsters Inc. and Monsters U.
And
that's it.
Maybe they just milked the series a lot.
How?
I'm pretty sure
they don't. I don't think they have a TV series. But there's definitely only two movies.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, that just speaks more to it then.
That you just don't remember.
Yep. Because the second one is forgettable that there's not a third.
Well, the second one isn't called 2, so that might even help on that part.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, obviously it's like they grew up, but...
Have you seen Monsters U?
Or went, whatever, they went back in time, but like...
No, it's a prequel.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You said went back to college.
Back in time to college. I didn't finish my thought. Or didn't organize it well. So Cars is what I picked. I don't know. I liked it more, I guess. But that one's a weird choice for me. I like Monsters Inc. a lot, the original, but...
Did you want to change your mind?
Yeah, I kind of want to, but I didn't. And then the third round, or second round, that is one in particular that I probably shouldn't have gone with. And Incredibles or WALL-E?
Easy one for me, if you know me at all. Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie. I think I even mentioned on the podcast when we did our Incredibles episode. But yeah, The Incredibles for me, by far, great movie, great family story, great Fantastic Four movie.
Better than the Fantastic Four movies?
Yes. Good villain, good motives for everyone, good twist, good plot. And then WALL-E. I like WALL-E. I'm not a huge fan of silent movies.
Yep, I picked Incredibles for that reason.
Really?
Yep, I mean, WALL-E's cool.
Beautiful story and beautiful idea.
And it's nice, but there's no talking.
I definitely got a little...
Not that it has to have it because they tell the story without it, but it's just when I watched it, it didn't hold my attention really.
Right. I definitely got a little sleepy and bored, but I kept watching and I liked it, but not as much as The Incredibles. But with that, let's go from the top or the bottom up and let's do a little lightning round.
So it was Incredibles and Cars, and I picked Cars, which I probably should have picked Incredibles. That's what I was saying.
Okay. And mine was Incredibles and Monsters, Inc., and I picked Incredibles.
A Bug's Life and Nemo.
And you picked?
A Bug's Life.
Okay. And this is when we like start getting really different. Because mine was Inside Out or Ratatouille, and I chose Inside Out.
This was Toy Story 3 or Coco.
Mine was Toy Story 3 and Coco. And you chose...
Coco.
I chose Toy Story 3.
I honestly, out of the three, I hate Toy Story 3.
Interesting. Huh. Alright, next.
Toy Story and Up.
Toy Story and Up, and I chose Toy Story.
Ditto.
Cool. That's one thing we actually agreed on. So the next one you got
Mulan and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Take a guess.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Nope, Mulan.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I told you I watched The Nightmare. I liked The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I watched it much later. I was like pretty much. I was like 17 when I watched it.
So mine is Zootopia and Beauty and the Beast, and I chose Zootopia.
I would have picked Beauty and the Beast over Zootopia. I
Really?
just don't like. I can't stand Zootopia.
I guess just knowing your personality, I completely get why
like
you would
it's
do that.
not like I like Zootopia and it's cute and good. It's just the blatant political stuff that I can't stand. So I had Pocahontas and Aladdin,
And I had
which was a hard one for me.
Little Mermaid and Hercules.
I picked Aladdin.
And I picked Hercules. So it seems like Hercules and Aladdin are a little rivalry on our brackets.
Yes. Big Hero 6 or Moana.
Tangled or Moana. And I have a feeling you picked Moana.
Yes.
I picked Moana as well. All right. And Lilo and Stitch and Lion King for me.
Me too.
And I chose Lion King.
Same.
All right, so looks like
We're
we got...
pretty similar in what we like, but there's a few where we are really different.
It's so weird. I get what you're saying, but it sounded very contradicting.
Right, like when it comes to like kind of the classics or whatever, we're similar, but we have very differing opinions on newer school Disney.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I am curious because they are missing, like, I think Big Hero 6 is the... No, they got a movie from 2016 in here. Never mind. I guess they just were really picky with which movies they put on this bracket. I'm really curious and want to kind
They
of...
probably tried to set it up good so there were some real hard choices and some easier choices.
In some newer movies and some old classics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
So, first one, Lion King and Moana. Did we do that already?
Nope, that's what we're on.
Okay.
So, same thing with me, and I chose on 3, 1, 2, 3, The Lion King. Cool.
I knew it.
Next one for me was Hercules or Zootopia.
I had Aladdin or Mulan.
Interesting. Aladdin or Mulan? I would probably choose Aladdin if that was my choice.
Interesting, because I picked Aladdin also.
My Hercules or Zootopia? I chose Zootopia still.
Hercules, man. Hercules. It's better.
That was a really hard one for me. I was
Not at all.
staring at it for a while.
It's not even a... It's like old school... Well, not
old school versus new
It's-
school.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. It's old school because it's what I grew up with versus what, like, my nieces and nephews
Hercules...
grew up with.
What started the Disney Renaissance? Was it Little Mermaid? Tarzan.
I'm pretty sure Tarzan was it.
Never mind then. Next one was Toy Story or Toy Story 3 for me.
It was Toy Story or Coco.
That's a hard one.
Right?
Ooh, what would I... Oh, man. Oh,
You'd probably
man.
pick Coco.
I don't know.
I think you would.
Because I like choosing things from, like, the idea and, like, the creativeness of the concept, and they're both so good.
Yes. So I picked Toy Story, though. Purely out of nostalgia. Had Coco been out when I was little in the same quality that it is, I probably would like Coco better.
Have you rewatched Toy Story recently?
Not like, I mean, within the last 5 years, yes.
because I rewatched them in probably the last 3 to 4 years from 1, 2, and 3 back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Toy Story 1's animation quality is so bad. It's so bad, but like I mean, it makes sense and it aged fine. But like just comparing it,
like what they accomplished, I don't know how much you've looked into like the studio and like the drawing boards and like all of the like.
I know
I watched like a documentary about it in my graphic design class in high school. There's a lot of stuff. There's really good staff. Like
I know when,
for what it is, like it's really good for the time. Like it is great, and it's still the fact that you said it aged well to now. Like sure, it doesn't hold up to Coco as far as production quality and things, but like I feel if you look at like the heart of the movie or whatever between Toy Story and Coco, like Coco feels a bit more cold, or like a bit not really cold in the sense of like story, but just more. Like they have a recipe, whereas
Pixar
like, Toy Story
they're figuring
feels
themselves
much more
out.
raw, but like not in a. I don't know. I'm not using the right words, but they're different. But I feel like Toy Story feels a bit more maybe authentic, whereas Coco feels a bit more like they used a computer to figure out the algorithm.
I can see what you're saying because like Pixar, it was their first movie. They're still figuring out what they want to do, what they're doing, how to even animate.
And they're just experimenting.
Yeah, and then Coco is like you said, they have their formula. They know what they want to do. They've had these ideas going on for years, and they just took time to make them.
Yeah,
but like when I say like aged poorly, is more so comparing from Toy Story 1 to Toy Story 3 because comparing.
If you look at production quality there, that 3 is way like leaps and bounds better, but
I do know they said in the production of Toy Story 1 it was super hard for them to animate humans, so that's why only Andy's in the movie and Sid. There's no other humans, you never see their face, only their bodies.
And they both kind of are weird.
Yeah.
But
like I think
that's the charm of the movie.
I think they specifically said human faces were difficult.
Right, because there's lots of little muscles and tweaks and things, yeah.
Like every Pixar movie has a hard thing to animate, and that was theirs. Anyway, mine Toy Story to Toy Story 3, I chose...
Number 3.
3.
Of course. You dang millennials.
Dude, you are too.
I know, I'm only 25. I know. So, A Bug's Life or Cars? I picked A Bug's Life pretty easily over that.
I find it so interesting that you chose Cars above Incredibles.
Yeah, like I said, that's
the one you wanted to switch. Gotcha.
Yeah, I got kind of tired and rushed and didn't think too much about it. I just picked what I thought of more when or what I thought I liked more initially, like off a gut reaction. So it wasn't necessarily right.
Mine was Inside Out versus The Incredibles, and I chose The Incredibles.
All right, and
on to the semifinals.
Sure, that's what that thing is called in sports ball land. Number 1, A Bug's Life or Toy Story?
I would choose Toy Story if I were you.
So did I, but I really like A Bug's Life a lot. So, side note, at the beginning of A Bug's Life, the short at the beginning with the 2 old dudes playing chess.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's probably like the best part or the second best part of that entire movie.
I'm pretty sure
that short at the beginning. I love it.
Pretty sure those are the same old guys at the end of the Incredibles movie.
It could be.
No, I lied. I think that's one of the old guys is the guy who fixes Woody in Toy Story 2.
This is true.
Yeah.
That is, yes. He's the guy that does the
patchwork to fix his arm.
Well, he's also the guy that does that whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I do believe that is him. Also, it's the same guy in the beginning, the short. It's the same one. He's just walking to both sides. It's just shot in a way that makes you think there's 2 people. Which was mind-blowing for me as a kid. I'm like, what? It's the same person? Are you serious?
Part of my favorite, just off track since we're talking about a short, my favorite Pixar short in general, I'd probably have to say that one with the, I don't even remember the name of it, the paper airplane one. I don't know why I liked it.
The paper airplane one.
Yeah.
What movie is it in?
I don't remember.
What happens in it?
There's a paper airplane, and there's a guy and a girl, and then like one of them makes a paper airplane. I think the girl does, and she throws it, and like you follow the airplane going through the air and hitting all these things, and just finds the way back to the guy in his desk job, hating life, and he gets it, and he like gets the motivation to just go out and be like F his job, and like goes and finds a girl who like threw the airplane, something like that. I also really like.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
I'm pretty sure it won awards too, but I also loved Lava, the one right before, I think it was Inside Out.
I don't remember seeing a short before that, so I don't know.
It was about a lava of a volcano, and they sung a song, and he sung
leading for Moana.
No,
Like,
I don't think it was before Moana.
Inside Out came out before Moana.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were like.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said before
Yes.
Moana.
No, not on the same movie reel as in before, but like
Yes.
prior to.
But it was like a volcano, and the whole thing is a song, and the volcano singing a song, and then there is another volcano underneath the water, also hearing the song, and then finally, when like time, millions of years go by, the volcano girl comes up out of the water, starts singing the song, and then when she starts singing, the other volcano goes under the ground, and like they just can't sing to each other, and then eventually millions of years pass, and then they can sing to each other. It's really cute. It is really good, and it's a good song.
Interesting. That sounds pretty high, actually. All right. So my last with the finals, I guess, was Aladdin and Toy Story.
Toy Story. Oh, I never actually finished mine.
Oh.
Rewind.
Yes, that's the rewind of a VHS tape.
Toy Story 3, Incredibles. I chose Incredibles. And then I had Zootopia and Lion King. Can you guess which one I chose with that?
What was it again?
Zootopia and Lion King.
Lion King.
Lion King. So, my finals were The Lion King versus The Incredibles. And yours was Toy Story versus Aladdin?
Yes.
And if it was me, I would choose Toy Story over Aladdin.
Tell me what you think I picked.
Well, I already know what you picked.
This is true. But if you were just going on, like,
From what we talked about just in this podcast episode, I would think you would pick Aladdin from how much you just loved it. And you said you even love all the sequels. That is a rare thing.
I'm a fanboy of it. I can't help. But yes, I picked Aladdin. What was your final bracket?
The Lion King and The Incredibles.
Ooh, that's really hard. I'm not sure how you picked. I know you like both of them pretty much the same, but I feel like I can see you going literally either way. But I think you picked Lion King because you just have a little more nostalgia for it. But I feel like that's probably wrong.
I chose The Incredibles.
Knew it.
But
I didn't because I didn't say it. But like, maybe I just wanted you to pick the Lion King.
You knew you were wrong.
Yeah, I think I wanted you to pick the Lion King. Just because I knew you would pick The Incredibles.
I definitely have more nostalgia with The Incredibles, actually. That is the first movie I remember seeing in theaters.
The Incredibles?
Yeah. Wow. It came out in 2000.
I feel like I was...
Oh, like, I have terrible memory, though, from my childhood.
I don't remember a whole lot. I don't really remember seeing any of them in theater. I just remember rewatching them on VHS,
right.
Which I still have all the VHS.
Like,
well,
that movie specifically, I went for a birthday. I remember Chris was there, but I only remember Chris. I know more people were there, maybe Justin. And Justin, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. I'm sorry if I forget.
He probably doesn't remember either, honestly.
But I remember, like, it was a Pixar movie, so that the short before it, and I don't even remember the short, but I remember in the theater, and the short came on, and it was a really long short, at least for my child attention span. And I turned around to my mom, and she was next to some stranger. I was like, I thought we were here to see The Incredibles. And my mom was like, we'll get there. And the guy next to my mom just laughed at me. But
yeah.
And then we got it for DVD. We had Jack Attack, and I rewatched it so many times. And we had a DVD player in our van. Always rewatched the movie. I've definitely seen The Incredibles the most. You grew up with DVDs
and stuff. You don't remember like not being allowed to watch it that much because you'd wear the VHS tape out.
We had VHS as well. Like we had the Toy Story 1 and 2 VHS, Lion King. I tore up Quentin's Lion King VHS tape. I ripped all the tape out. He hated me.
Yeah, and it's entirely justified.
As a gift, we gave him the Lion King Blu-ray on DVD years later. But no, I grew up using VHSs as well. Before my room became my room, my parents' house, me and Quentin shared a room, and that was the guest room, and we had a TV that had a VHS player, and I would always sneak in there to watch movies. But yeah, just The Incredibles, I definitely rewatched the most, and probably is on this whole bracket, the movie I've seen the most.
Yeah. I've seen Aladdin so many times. Like, it's not even funny. I used to be able to, like, quote it, like as the script.
Never had a friend like me. Yeah, and, like, The Incredibles, I can probably quote a lot of it. Like,
oh, you do?
Do I? I was about to say, like, I wasn't sure if I do quote anything.
You casually put it in a conversation.
Do I?
Yeah, and I don't even notice that it's from The Incredibles. It's just like how you speak. It's that frequent, I guess.
Interesting. Because like the most quotable line is definitely the "Where's my super suit?" scene.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
I actually saw. I doubt I'll be able to find it, but it was on Facebook. It was like a picture of like Syndrome, or not Syndrome, Frozone, and two other. It was like, oh, roses are red, and it showed the picture of the that scene, and then something else. And it was a rhyme, and I will find it later.
It was this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay. So I'm not crazy. Anyway.
I mean,
yeah.
You are, but...
Not that crazy. But yeah, that's the Disney bracket. And The Incredibles for me, Aladdin. Aladdin for Ben.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
There's actually, we've been talking for a lot longer than I was expecting to with this.
Yeah. So feel free to let us know in the reviews or comments what your favorite Disney movie is out of the ones listed. Maybe it wasn't one listed. What's your favorite underrated one? You can find us on all the major podcast platforms.
And yeah, definitely share with friends, family, whoever you think might be interested in whatever we talk about. I know it's pretty random. And yeah, leave a review if you can. That will definitely help. But
we'll see you guys in the next episode.
See ya. You didn't feel right doing the outro last time, but you did so well this time.
I know, right? I didn't fuck it up.
I mean, you kind of stopped. I had to pick you up.
Well, no, I stopped so that you could say something so that you were like a part of the ending.
Oh, that's so nice.
So you could have your own part because like that's how you do good things. You do good content.
That's how we do good.
That's how we do gooder than others.
So I guess what? Are we watching that scary show or whatever?
Yes.
Scary show.
I kind of want to eat cookies and drink milk with it.
Ooh, cookies and milk.
Ooh, cookies and milk.
I like chocolate milk.
All right, come on, cheese.